All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. The All-Ireland Senior Football Championship SFC Irish Craobhchomórtas Sinsear na hÉireann sa Pheil is the premier competition in Gaelic football. An annual tournament organised by the Gaelic Athletic Association GAA, it is contested by the county teams in all Ireland. The first tournament was held in 1887. It has been held every year since 1889. Each tournament ends with a final, played by the 35th Sunday of the year at Croke Park in Dublin, with the winning team receiving the Sam Maguire Cup. History. The first championship to be held featured club teams who represented their respective counties after their county championship. The 21-a-side final was between Commercials of Limerick and Young Irelands of Louth. The final was played in Beach Hill, Donnybrook not Bird Avenue on 29 April 1888, with Commercials winning by 1-4-0-3. Unlike later All-Ireland competitions, there were no provincial championships, and the result was an open draw. The second championship was unfinished owing to the American Invasion Tour. The 1888 provincial championships had been completed, Tipperary, Kilkenny, and Monaghan winning them. No Connacht teams entered, but after the Invasion Tour returned, the All-Ireland semi-final and final were not played. English team London reached the final 4 times in the early years of the competition, 1900–1903. In 1892, inter-county teams were introduced to the All-Ireland Championship. Congress granted permission for the winning club to use players from other clubs in the county. Thus, the inter-county teams came into being. The rules of hurling and football were also altered. Goals were made equal to 5 points, and teams were reduced from 21 to 17 a side. The 1903 championship brought Kerry's first All-Ireland title. They went on to become the most successful football team in the history of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. Unlike in other European countries, such as neighbouring England, where annual sports events were cancelled during the 20th century due to the First and Second World Wars, the All-Ireland Championship has been running continuously since 1887, with the final running since 1889. The 1888 competition was played, but no final was. The competition continued even in spite of the effects on the country of the Civil War and the Second World War. The National Football League was not held during the latter. In 1941, the All-Ireland Championship was disrupted by an outbreak of foot and mouth disease, but the postponed Leinster final were later rescheduled. The duration of certain championship matches increased from 60 to 80 minutes during the 1970s. They were settled at 70 minutes after 5 seasons of this in 1975. This applied only to the provincial finals, All-Ireland semi-finals and finals. The first half of the 20th century brought the rise of several teams who won 2 or more All-Ireland titles in that period. In the 1990s, a significant sea change took place, as the All-Ireland was claimed by an Ulster team in 4 consecutive years, 1991–1994. Since then, Ulster has produced more All-Ireland winning teams than any other province. The All-Ireland qualifiers were introduced in 2001. Later that year, the 2001 final brought victory for Galway, who became the first football team to win an All-Ireland by springing through the back door. In 2013, Hawkeye was introduced for championship matches at Croke Park. It was first used to confirm that Offaly substitute Peter Cunningham's attempted point had gone wide 10 minutes into the second half of a game against Kildare. 2013 also brought the first Friday night game in the history of the championship, a first-round qualifier between Carlow and Laois. In recent years, further changes have been made to the structure of the championship. In 2018, the Super 8s were introduced, where the 4 provincial champions and the 4 Round 4 qualifier winners would be split into 2 groups of 4 teams. Each team plays their group rivals once, with the top 2 teams progressing to the All-Ireland semi-finals. In 2020, a 2-tier format will be adopted for the championship. Division 3 and 4 teams from the National Football League that fail to reach a provincial final will not proceed to the All-Ireland qualifiers and will instead play in the knockout second-tier championship. Teams format. Current format. The county is a geographical region in Ireland, and each of the 32 counties in Ireland organise their own Gaelic games affairs through a county board. The county teams play in their respective provincial championships reflective of the 4 Irish provinces in Connacht, which also includes teams from London and New York. Kilkenny is currently unique among the 32 Irish county associations and not participating in the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. The provincial championships operate through a knockout cup competition format. They take place during the months of May and June. The winners of each of the 4 provincial championships earn a place in the All-Ireland Super 8s, a round-robin group stage, which takes place in the months of July and August. Each provincial championship match is played as a single leg. If a match is drawn, extra time is played. However, if both sides are still level at the end of extra time, a replay takes place. In the case of a provincial final, if matches end level, a replay takes place without extra time. The teams that fail to win their respective provincial championships, except New York, have 2 potential pathways. Teams will either continue to remain alive in the championship and proceed to the All-Ireland qualifiers or be moved to the second-tier knockout championship, the Tail Team Cup. The following teams proceed to the qualifiers: Division 1 and 2 teams from that year's National Football Leagues, with the exception of the 2 Division 2 teams who were relegated, the 2 Division 3 teams from that year's National Football League who were promoted. If a Division 3 or 4 teams is beaten in their provincial final, they also proceed to the qualifiers. The remaining teams qualify for the Tier 2 Championship. Qualifiers. Round 1. 8 eligible teams play in this round, with the teams who failed to reach their provincial final drawn against another opponent. Winners progress to round 2 and losers are eliminated. A preliminary round is played before round 1 if it is necessary to reduce the number of teams to 8. Round 2, 8 teams play in this round, specifically the 4 round 1 winners and 4 losing provincial finalists. Each team is drawn against one opponent, and the winners progress to the All-Ireland Super 8s whilst the losers are eliminated. The All-Ireland Championship. All-Ireland Super 8s. The 4 provincial champions and the winning 4 teams from round 2 of the All-Ireland qualifiers take part in a group stage that takes place in the months of July and August. The group stage is organized on a league basis with 2 groups of 4 teams, with each team playing the other 3 teams once. Each group consists of 2 provincial champions and 2 round 4 qualifier winners. Each team plays 1 game in Croke Park, 1 home game, and 1 away game. In the case of Dublin, Croke Park is treated as the home stadium, so they would play 2 games in Croke Park. The top 2 teams in both groups qualify for the All-Ireland semi-finals. All-Ireland semi-finals. The winner of Group 1 plays the runner-up of Group 2, and the winner of Group 2 plays the runner-up of Group 1 in 2 All-Ireland semi-finals played over the course of 1 weekend. All-Ireland final. The 2 remaining teams meet in the All-Ireland final to take place in August. The winning team is crowned All-Ireland champions and presented with the Sam Maguire Cup. Significant changes to the format of the championship were made at GAA Annual Congress in February 2017. The most significant change was the creation of the All-Ireland quarter-final group stage known as the Super 8s, which replaced the previous quarter-final stage of the championship. Additionally, the All-Ireland final was moved to August, and replays would only be held for drawn provincial finals and drawn All-Ireland finals, with extra time to be played in all other championship matches. The changes were to be trialled for 3 years before being reviewed by the GAA in late 2020. Single-tier championship format 2018-19. This championship was identical to the format above, though with no second-tier championship. All teams who failed to win their provincial final were eligible to play in the qualifiers. The qualifiers took place over 4 rounds rather than 2, and the four winners of the fourth round proceeded to the All-Ireland Super Eights. As in the format above, the further a team progressed in their provincial championships, the later the round they entered the qualifiers. Quarter-finals format 2001-17. From 2001 to 2017, the championship was played using the quarter-finals format. Under this format, provincial matches would take place during the months of May, June, and July. The winners of each of the four provincial championships would earn a place in the All-Ireland quarter-finals, which would take place in the month of August. Replays would be played for all drawn matches, not just drawn provincial finals and drawn All-Ireland finals. Extra time would only be used for replays and qualifier matches. If the teams were still level after extra time, the qualifier match would go to a replay, or in the case of replays, another replay would take place. The qualifiers series would take place in the months of June and July, with the winning four teams of round 4 playing the four provincial champions in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. All-Ireland quarter-finals, the four provincial champions would be drawn against the winning four teams from round 4 of the All-Ireland qualifiers. If a match finished with both teams level, a replay would take place. The four winning teams qualify for the All-Ireland semi-finals. All-Ireland semi-finals. The All-Ireland semi-finals would take place in August and be contested by the four winners of the All-Ireland quarter-finals. If a match ended with both teams level, a replay would take place. The two winning teams qualify for the All-Ireland final. All-Ireland final. The two remaining teams would meet in the All-Ireland final, usually on the third Sunday in September. The winning team is crowned All-Ireland champions. Historic format 1888-2000. For the first All-Ireland Championship in 1887, the competition was played on an open draw knockout basis. From 1888, the provincial system was introduced, whereby the counties in each of Ireland's four provinces would play each other on a knockout basis to find provincial champions. These four champions would meet in the All-Ireland semi-finals. The structure outlined above was adopted in 2001 to allow more games to be played, but still retain provincial championships and the knockout structure, resulting in every game continuing to be a meaningful fixture, with no dead rubber league format matches being played out. All-Ireland finals. Typically, over the 4 Sundays of September, All-Ireland finals in men's football, ladies' football, hurling, and camogie take place at Croke Park, the national stadium of the GAA. 2 grades are played on each final day, the senior team and the minor team, consisting of younger players under the age of 18, who have participated in that year's All-Ireland Minor Football Championship. Guests who attend these events include the President of Ireland, the Taoiseach, and other important dignitaries. The football final is considered the pinnacle event of this period. The final game of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship takes place on the third Sunday of September. The men's decider regularly attracts crowds of over 80,000. The winning team captain receives the Sam Maguire Cup. The current champions are Tyrone. Due to COVID-19 and the related state restrictions, the 2020 All-Ireland Senior Football Championship final was staged on Saturday, 19 December, 2 weeks after the semi-finals. For the first time since 2000, the football championship was a sudden death scenario, while the hurling championship, completed on Sunday, 13 December, contained a backdoor format. Venues, records, and statistics. Although Wexford were the first county to win 4 consecutive All-Ireland Senior Football Finals 1915-18, historically Kerry has been the most successful football team in the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. As of 2020, Kerry has won the competition on 37 occasions, winning in 4 consecutive years, twice 1929, 1932, and 1978, 1981, and for 3 consecutive years twice, as well, 1939, 1941, and 1984. Dublin follows Kerry on the competition roll of honour with 30 wins, Although up to the 1950s much of the success of Dublin teams was based on teams who had many non-Dublin-born players playing. Dublin has joined the four-in-a-row club, winning the competition consecutively since 2014. As of 2019, Dublin became the first team to win the competition 5 times in a row. And in 2020, Dublin won a sixth consecutive title. Galway were the first team from the western province of Connacht to win an All-Ireland title, doing so in 1925. The 1933 final brought victory for Cavan, who became the first team from the northern province of Ulster to win an All-Ireland title. 2 teams have won the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship as part of a double with that year's All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship, namely Cork 1890 and 1990 and Tipperary 1895 and 1900. The championship has never been won by a team from outside Ireland, though London have played in 5 finals. Tyrone are the reigning champions, winning their 4th title, having defeated Mayo in the 2021 All-Ireland Senior Football Championship final.